Okay, so the first bit of my worldview that I just wanted to talk about that I think it's important for me and it's important to pretty much everyone's worldview is my family, and I'm just gonna start by kind of moving everyone as I talk so you know who they all are for reference. So this is me, this is my sister Charlotte, this is my sister Cleo, this is my dad Stephen, and my mom Celia. For the first 11 years of my life, I lived with both my parents and both of my sisters, and then Cleo turned 18 and moved to Victoria to study business, and then a couple years later Charlotte turned 18 and moved to Montreal to study art. Although they are not done growing yet, I think watching my sisters grow up, choose where they wanted to go to school and learn things about themselves and who they wanted to be, has really inspired me to do some of the same things for myself. And even though I don't know exactly what I want to do with my life, I know that I would like to be as kind and hardworking people as they are, and I've followed their example in things like putting a lot of effort into my grades or trying to spend time with my friends, and I really think that they have kind of helped me become who I am as a person, so they've shaped my worldview in that way, as well as teaching me things, because obviously I have been spending time with them since I was very young, so both setting an example for me or directly talking to me, I think my sisters have kind of done a lot for my worldview. That being said, my parents have also done a lot for my worldview, and I think this is something that's pretty common to everybody, or at least everybody that has parents growing up. But they did things like teaching me to read before I got to school, or teaching me that I should be polite, or even more specific things like passing down family recipes or stories or things like music that they like that, I've grown to kind of love because of that, and that's really helped make me who I am as a person. I think more than anything, just spending time with people in my family has inspired me to become like them, whether my sisters or my parents, and academically or on a personal level. In all things, they're just total role models and stuff, and I guess a lot of my childhood was kind of spent wanting to grow up and wanting to be like them, and feeling a little bit small, and I guess I always will, but I wouldn't change them for anything, so yeah. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to talk about was pop culture, which I think is something that has greatly influenced a lot of people my age, and just, generally a lot of people. And I think for me, there's a couple of things it's helped me kind of make some friends and stuff, just sharing that common interest. It's helped me think a little bit about who I am as a person, whether in comparison to a character or a situation in the book. But I think really what the most important thing that pop culture has done for me is that it's kind of inspired me to be creative and to express myself, be it through writing a song or drawing a picture like any of the ones that you see here, or writing a story, it's just, it doesn't really matter what I'm listening to or who I'm watching or anything like that, so much as just the fact that it's all kind of made me want to put something beautiful into the world. And I think I have spent a lot of my life trying to do that, right? I play piano, I play trumpet, I sing, I love writing, I love drawing, and I don't think that I really would have gotten into any of that if I hadn't heard other people do it first and enjoyed that. And hopefully someday I will be able to do the same thing for someone else. And even if I can't, I can appreciate the other people who have done it for me, and just what a big influence they have been on my life, like even if it's not specific people that I can remember, but just so much as music, books, TV shows have all influenced me so much, and I'm so grateful that I kind of had access to all of the stuff that I did, like, you know, that I'm not born in like the 1800s when none of this would have existed. But then again, I guess I don't really know what the future holds either. Like, there could be new technology in 10 years that I wish that I had had as a kid, but really all I can say is I'm glad that I grew up with what I did and that it made me such a creative person, or someone who tries to be such a creative person. And yeah. I was looking to the sky. Okay, last, I just kind of want to talk about where I live, like North Vancouver, or specifically Deep Cove, that area of North Vancouver. I'd say there are kind of like three ways that living here has really influenced me. The first being that it's kind of influenced me like to take care of myself. Like there's so much nature around here and like access to good healthy food, and there's clean air and stuff, and everyone around here lives a pretty healthy lifestyle. So like that's something that, you know, there are areas, there are places that I might not be able to get that as much, but living here I think I really appreciate it, and there is something that I will carry through the rest of my life, is like trying to be healthy, trying to get outside, trying to eat good food, you know, all of that stuff. The second thing it's done for me is just kind of made me like a really accepting person. Like, you know, it's a very safe area, there's a very low crime rate, it's very much a community and something that celebrates like people's differences, and people can be like proud of their differences here. There's not a lot of bullying or anything, and I think that's something very important for me growing up, is that like I was never bullied, and I grew up learning to be a polite person and polite to everyone, and that is something that I think everyone should be and should do. But if we can't all be like that, then I'm glad that at least I am living in a community where people generally are. I think probably the other thing that living here has taught me, although maybe not as much as the other two, is just to kind of appreciate like where I live, who I live with, and what I have. Like, even though I've never really experienced not having the things and the life that I have, living here, like, we're not about to have an economic failure, we're not about to be attacked by terrorists. I can feel safe walking around, like I kind of touched on before, and I know that if I lived somewhere else after living here, I might appreciate that even more, but like, I think I can really see, like, this was a really good place to grow up and stuff. Like, I can't really imagine growing up anywhere else being better than growing up here was for me. The last thing that I wanted to say about my worldview can't really fall under a specific category, because it's just something that I've seen, expressed, and taught pretty much everywhere I go, and that's just to always try and be happy and find a balance between taking care of yourself and working hard and having fun and spending time with your friends, and to basically just try and make your life the best that it can be. And I think that is really important, and not just for me but for everyone, and I think that that is really probably a part of who I am, and what I love about the people that I love is just that they try and do that, and that I can try and do that, and that life is just going to always present you with so many opportunities to be happy, and that's really just the most important thing. I think that kind of about wraps up my project. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed.